and welcome to healthyhouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support our show, please use our Amazon affiliate link below. Today I'm going to tell you how you want to feed miniature African violets that are being grown with a wicking system. So this one is being grown with a wicking system. You can see the wick in the water in there. I did just change this water. You want to change the water in these about once a week when you're growing them in water like this. And you do want to fertilize on a regular basis. This one is a little yellowy, definitely needs some fertilizer. You can grow African violets this way. I have it up on top of this big thing with a lot of water in there, just so you can really get a good idea of how the wicking works. A lot of times it's a much shallower container underneath that holds the water for the wicking. Good news about this is it doesn't doesn't run out of water as fast as you do with some of the more shallow container dishes for the wicking. Anyway, we do get very hot and dry in Southern California in the summer, so sometimes the water level will go down fairly quickly. So this is kind of an insurance for that. And you're able to see how this works too as well. So I am going to give this guy some fertilizer, and it is the winter time here. However, African violets are one of the few plants which I would suggest to continue to fertilize, or at least fertilize some during the winter months, which is different than a lot of other plants. But the African violets, because of their flowering and their constant flowering, as long as you keep them fertilized and repotted, which is I have videos on repotting them. As long as you continue to feed and repot on a regular basis, you will get continual flowers throughout the year. This one hasn't flowered a little bit because it hasn't been fertilized in a while. It was repotted not too long ago. I'm going to wait until late winter and then I will repot it as well. Okay, so this is a really good African violet food that I like to use, especially because it's a liquid as well. Shake it really good. You want to put in a wicking system very little fertilizer. It's different than when you put it in water and then water with the fertilizer water, because remember, the plant is going to be, the fertilizer that you're putting in is not going anywhere. When you put it in water and you water, it washes through. So some of the fertilizer stays in the soil and a lot of it washes through. But when you do it this way, the plant is sitting in that fertilizer indefinitely until you empty out the water, right? So that's why you only want a tad of fertilizer, because you don't want to burn the roots with too much fertilizer. And this is organic, much less likely to burn roots with organic, but you still can if you do too much. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to shake again, since it's been a little bit here. Open it up. Now this has a very big hole on it. So this is more for when you're putting in a pot to put watering can. It's more for a watering can, to be able to put some dollops into a watering can and then water from there. So it's not something that you would just want to start throwing into this, because you'd get way too much fertilizer all at once. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a very small amount. You are better to err on the side of less than more when you are fertilizing any way that you're fertilizing. So this is quite a bit of fertilizer here. Show you there. So I'm going to I want about half as much as what I got here. So I'm going to pour a little bit back, a little bit more. So you can see this is just a tad of fertilizer. I would say this is probably about a 1/16 of a teaspoon, or maybe a little bit less, which is good. So I'm going to lift this up, put it in, mix it a little bit, make sure my wick is still in there when I'm done. Put this back on, and like I said, I did already change the water, and I used warm water. You always want to use warm water or tepid, room temperature. And now this beauty has been fertilized. Most likely in about 6 weeks, I will see some blooms because of the fertilizer that I put in now. I will wait probably 2 weeks before I change this water. There is, as mentioned, a lot of water in this, and I want the fertilizer to really do its job. And then after 2 weeks, I'll change the water to some regular water. And if during the months, spring and summer, when the plants are growing more actively, you could do it with every water change, a very small amount. But since it is wintertime, I'm just going to do this and then wait about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and then I'll do it again. So less fertilizing in the winter for African violets, but still some fertilizer. So that is it for fertilizing mini African violets that are being grown with a wick system. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.